I'm Carmen, inviting you to join me on global adventures, rocking out at concerts, feeling the thrill of amusement parks, and geeking out at conventions. This journey is all about travel, tunes, thrills, and the joy of exploration. So the Queen Mary offers tours. Since I'm into the paranormal, I decided to take the Haunted Encounters. It's about an hour long. So first I'm gonna start with a little bit of the history of the Queen Mary, and then from there we'll go into the tour. The Queen Mary was originally used for the Royal Mail. It sailed from 1936 to 1967. It was a luxury ocean liner, would carry mail and passengers across the Atlantic. In 1939, when World War II started, it turned into a transport hospital ship and it carried 16,683 people. She is built to carry 3,000 people at a time, 2,000 passengers, and 1,200 crew. It's still not known how many deaths were on the ship. There would be a death about every 4 hours during the war. The city of Long Beach decided to turn her into a floating hotel, museum, and monument. The reputation of being haunted did not start until she came to Long Beach. It opened to the public in 1971 as a hotel. Right away, reports started of people seeing things and hearing things. At the beginning, the staff did not want to encourage people to think that it was haunted because they didn't want people to not come and visit because of that. In the 80s is when it started embracing the paranormal. The mid-80s, they allowed the show Unsolved Mysteries to come aboard for an episode. So this haunted tour started in the third class lounge area. Guests would hang out here, have a cocktail, and enjoy live music. Now the space is rented for private events and it's usually empty unless there's an event. That's when they bring tables and chairs. In 1989, a couple of workers came in to set up some chairs, and they noticed that somewhere in the middle of the room, they saw a woman sitting in a chair by herself. They noticed that even though they were making a lot of noise and talking to each other, she remained unbothered, not paying any attention to them. They didn't recognize her or the chair that she was sitting in. While the chairs they had for the event was more modern and made out of metal. The crew didn't know what to do because they were trying to figure out how she go into the rooms because it was locked up. They were so afraid they didn't want to approach her and they decided to just keep setting up the room and hope that she would get the hint to eventually leave. They decided to call their manager, and when the manager came in to try and talk to the woman just disappeared in front of her. She was standing about 5 feet away from her. All three workers said that she just vanished into thin air. This was the longest sighted on record. She was standing there for about 10 minutes, while other sightings are just a second or two that they see someone dressed up as a soldier and they immediately disappear, or someone in a captain's suit. The Queen Mary loses about 5 employees a year who specifically say that they decided to quit because of some sort of paranormal activity. The next part we were taken was the third class staircase. When the ship was still sailing, the crew members started calling the deadly dangerous staircase. It is one of the biggest design flaws of the ship because it's located off the front of the ship. If there were any moments where the ship had to dip into the water because of the bad weather, that would mean that the staircase would end up being in a vertical position, because of the movement of the ship crashing against the sea. Over the years, a lot of people fell down the stairs. A lot of people have injuries, and one person did end up passing away, living up to the name they were given by the crew. A few years ago, the cleaning staff was walking by the stairs and she stopped because she saw a man standing at the top of the stairs, and that caught her off guard because he wasn't walking. He was just standing there, kind of just looking down the stairs. She said he was wearing a really nice suit and hat, that it seemed maybe something from the past, but she didn't think much of it because many people that visit the Queen Mary do like to dress up in period clothing. And I actually got to see that the day I visited. There was a ballroom event going on and people were wearing really nice period clothing. But the fact that he was just standing there, and she even asked if he was okay, but she didn't get a response. So she decided to go up the stairs toward him. The moment she took her eyes off him for a split second, just to find that first step, and she looked back right up, he was gone. The issue here is that those stairs creak, and in order for someone to disappear that fast without making any noise is impossible. Some people think that maybe it's that someone that fell down the stairs and maybe he has that memory of that fall, and that's why he didn't want to go down the stairs. In this room, you can see some photographs. It's actually 58 photographs representing people that have passed away in the Queen Mary. Each of the photos has information about their death. That information came from the ship's death records, so some of them have more details than others. When someone passed away in the ship, there was no morgue, so transporting the bodies was tricky. Cargo space is located at the front of the ship. Back in World War II, they would make some of the POWs sleep there because there was no room in the ship. The only issue is that it gets very hot because of the boiler rooms, and they would create steam to the power engines and the heat would resonate through the steel. This is the area where some people feel like there's some negative energy. Not that the energy is stronger, but angrier, a little more anxiety induced. Some people say that the POW probably have something to do with this, but maybe there was a specific incident that made this area end up with negative energy. The pool area is no longer open to the public in order to protect the structure of the upper area. Room B340 is the most haunted room in the ship. There's no specific incident that happened there. It's just people believe that it's a phenomenon called egregore. That means that when enough people believe that it's haunted, when it's not, then because of all the energy everybody puts into it, the place actually becomes haunted. A lot of people started having seances there, playing the Ouija board, so it became haunted. At least that's what is believed that happened, since no specific event has happened there. And that's it for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.